Hello everybody and welcome back to this tutorial, and what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a look at some similar or not similar, some different examples of using functions in Python 3. We're going to code some simple programs normally as you would do before actually knowing how to use functions, and then we're going to implement a function to that program in order to see how we can do that. Now, why we're doing this is because I think this would be the best practice. You actually code the program without a function, and then you think about how you can actually implement the function in that program so it can become a little bit useful. So let us see how we can do that. Let us open up our idle right here. And we're not going to use the interpreter. Let us just open the actual new file. So we're going to code our own program, and we are going to use the random library. So import random. Now, what we're going to try to do in this program is we are basically going to create a secret number that is going to be generated by the random library as we did before. Then we are going to use a for loop in order to actually give a user of this program 3 times to actually guess the number. We will actually perform an if-else statement, whether to check if the actual guess was correct, and then if it was, we will just print congratulations, you guessed the number. Else we will print something like better luck next time, and we will close the program. Then after we code that, we're going to try to implement an actual function for a specific part of this code. So first of all, let us code it. We have import random right here, or let me just lower it. It looks much better like this. So import random. First of all, let us create that secret number. So secret number will be equal to calling the random library using the random integer function from this library, and let us generate a number between 1 and 20. Not 29, 20. Okay. Then we can print something like this. I am currently thinking of a number. So we can print something like this. This will be a simple game of guessing the number. Right now, what we want to do, as I said, we want to enter an actual for loop. We want to give the user 3 times to actually guess. Now, how we can actually give the user 3 times to guess? Well, we can use for example, let's use for I in range 1 through 4. The reason why we are using 1 through 4 is because that will be equal to 3 guesses. So 1 through 4, we want to actually print first. So print try to guess the number, exclamation mark. So we print try to guess the number. Then we want to actually take an input from the user itself, because they are now ready to type the actual number that they think is the correct one. So guess variable is going to be our storage for the actual user value. We're going to use an integer function in order to convert the input value into an integer. So in the integer, we also saw an actual example of using these two functions together. So first of all, we use integer, and then inside we use the input function right here, which is going to actually print out enter number between 1 and 20. So this is what the user will see. Then they will specify the number. The number will be inputted. We're going to perform an integer function on that number, because if we don't, this actual guess variable right here will store a string value of this number. That's why we need to actually convert it to integer first, and then store it into the guess variable. Right after we do that, we can perform our if-else statement within our for loop right here to check whether the number is correct. We're going to check whether the number is actually smaller or bigger than the actual secret number. So if guess is smaller than the secret number, which is the number that is generated by the random library. So if the guess is smaller than the secret number, we can print the number you specified is too low. So that we can print something like that. Else if the guess is actually bigger than the secret number, bigger than the actual secret number. Let me just go right here, find it. Bigger than secret number, we can print same as we did in the upper part. So the number you specify is too high. Let me just type here capital I, so it actually looks better. And at the end, else in any other case, and the any other case is of course going to be that the number is correct, because there is really no fourth case in this, we're going to break out of the loop. So simple as that, we're going to break out of the loop. And once we actually break out of the loop, we're going to perform a check whether this actual guess is equal to secret number. Now, why we are doing this? Well, basically, this is going to end anyway, whether the user guesses the actual number or whether the user doesn't guess the actual number. And you can see right here, we don't really guess, or we don't really perform the checking of the guess equal to secret number in the for loop itself. So we have to do it outside in order to make sure that the user actually guessed the number and didn't just run out of the tries, which in our case it has 3 tries to actually guess. So if guess is equal to secret number, we're going to print congratulations. So you have guessed the number. Okay, and in the any other case, if it's not equal, since this guess variable right here, once 3 tries are actually completed, will have the last value of the last try. And if the last try was equal to secret number, that means that they successfully guessed it. And if the guess variable is not equal to the value of the secret number, that means they just ran out of they just ran out of those 3 tries that they had, and that then we will print out better luck next time. The correct number was, and then we'll just concat it to this string. Now make sure that actually, once again, I can't find my plus sign. Okay, so here it is. Make sure to actually use a string function to actually convert the secret number to the actual string value, so you can actually print it. So string from the secret number. So simple as that. And this is our program right here. First of all, we are going to actually test it. Once we test it, we are going to create a function in this program that is going to perform this part of the code. So let us go right here, run our module. Okay, yeah, we need to save it. We're going to save it in the desktop right here. Go to the Python programs, guess number.py. Run it right here. We can see I'm currently thinking of a number. Let us have the code right next to it so we can see where we are in the code currently. So I'm currently thinking of a number. We're right here. Try to guess the number right here. And right now we are at this line. We specify 3. You can see right here the number you specified is too low. Try to guess the number. So we finished the first iteration of this program. Let us go with 7. So we know that the actual number you specified, okay, so right now it is too high. Try to guess the number. We know that number is between 3 and 7, so let me just try 5. The number you specified is too low. Better luck next time. The correct number was 6. So we didn't manage to guess the number, though we were really close. Let's just try to run it once again. So 10, too low, 12, too low, 15. Congratulations, you have guessed the number. So the 15 was actually a number. Therefore, we actually managed to guess the number. So our program works. Right now, what we are interested in mostly is using a function to perform a certain task right here. So as I said before, first of all, we are going to code a function up here. And this function, what it can actually do is it can actually have this entire part right here. Let me just check it right here in the actual function. So let us just try to do it like this. Copy. We can paste it right up here. Def guess underscore number will be our function. Now, of course, our function will actually need to take an input, or it will have to take some argument. But before we do that, make sure to tab each line once, so it can actually belong to the function. Okay, so we tab each line once, so the code actually belongs to the function. So now let us see what else we need to change. We have a function guess number. We create a random integer. We perform we print I'm currently thinking of a number, and right now we can call the function. So guess underscore number. Okay, for I in range 1 through 4, print this, then guess equals integer input, enter number between 1 and 20. Right here, what we are going to do is we are going to use a global guess variable, so global guess. Now remember why we are doing this is because we can actually access it outside of the function itself. We saw that in the previous video. Therefore, right here, we need to actually use a global variable guess because we are using it right here later on. So for I in range, let me see whether there is something else we need to change, or we can just actually try it. Okay, it is saved. Think a number between 1 and 20, 3, 7, 14. Okay, better luck next time. The correct number was 9. So we successfully implemented a function that will actually check the values of these, or not check, it will actually prompt the user to actually input 3 times the value. So our guess number right here is in a function. Therefore, you can call it as many times as you want throughout your code. So we call it right here. But let us also code a function for this part right here. Now this function will have to take arguments. First of all, I will copy this, then I will delete it, and let us call this function def check. Okay, let us just call it check. It will take an input from the actual guess variable. So let me just make sure that it is guess. So we called it guess right here, global guess variable, and the secret number. And right here we can paste the actual code of the function itself. Once again, make sure to tab each line so it actually belongs to the function itself. Okay, now let us separate also this part right here. Oops. Okay, and we actually can call the check function right after the actual guess number function, and we need to parse the guess and the secret number. Okay, let us see how this will work. We save it. 5. Okay, we got an error. Let me just see what the error is. First of all, did we save it? We should have saved it. Okay, so run this. 3. Okay, invalid literal for integer with base 10. Let us think about this. So def check guess secret number. If guess equals secret number, okay, for I in range, yeah, let us try to actually return the guess right here. Maybe that is the problem, maybe not. So return guess, and we are going to return it right here. So going to equals to guess number, and then we are performing the check function with the guess and the actual secret number. So let me just save this, run this right here. 4, try to guess the number is too high. 2, 3. Okay, so our program works. The correct number was 1. we actually managed to not guess the number, but doesn't even matter. Our program works. That is what matters. What we had to actually do is, because we didn't really have this guess variable outside, so we actually had to store it back and return it from this guess number function right here. We returned it after the actual for loop. Now make sure to tab this at the same line as the for loop. Now this is not tabbed into the for loop, so don't do this. Just tab it one time out. It has to belong to the guess number function. Therefore, the last try of our user will be returned from this function right here. It will either be a correct try or it will either be a wrong try. Then it will store itself in the guess variable right here. And then we perform the check function with this guess variable, which is going to be the last guess of the user, and the secret number, which is an actual number generated by the random library. So let us run it once again, just to make sure it actually works. 10, too low, 15, too high, 13. Okay, so better luck next time. The correct number was 14. Okay, so our program works. We successfully coded it, and we're going to code a different program in the next tutorial, also using functions. So hope you enjoyed this lecture, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!